Welcome to Flying High with Cam. Today I have Mr. State 48. I can't wait for you guys to hear his story of how he networks and collaborates is one of the biggest questions that entrepreneurs have today. He's going to teach you how he's built an apparel brand into a multi-million-dollar company. And what's cool is your company can collaborate with him as well. He's one of the best of the best. Stay tuned. You're going to love this episode.
Welcome to Flying High with Cam.
Yayo.
A podcast where I combine two things I love.
This is insane.
Interviewing the most successful people I know
You're the baddest guy in town.
while flying helicopters.
Engine failure.
Fly with me. I want to hear your stories, learn from your experiences, and build a community. This is Flying High with Cam.
This buddy this morning post, and I just sent it to Joey, who you just met. In 2018, I was at an air show, and there was a helicopter. It's the 120, right, Cam? That's the smaller engine?
Smaller one, yeah. This is smaller.
So there's a version of this that's the 120, and I just put on there like one day, you know?
That's sick.
And then they tagged me in it this morning, and I just like, I've always been a believer of like manifestation.
Amen.
But as I've been consulting more and more people, like you go back and like at least I have like reflected on what's worked for me and what hasn't, and dude, manifestation has been a big part of my life. And I just think it's really cool to see, like in 2018, that's when I was the most in debt, $4 million in debt. I'm at an air show and I'm like, one day I'll have that. And then on the way over here, it's like, dude, I just pinch myself every day because we're going to do a podcast in the air in a 130 in a helicopter that's better than that one. And it's just like, it's just amazing. And that's the thing, a lot of people are kind of like leery on manifestations, but it's not like you can manifest something and then just chill.
Yeah.
Like you have to go do the work as well. And so like when you started State 48, like are you a believer in manifestation? Do you practice any of that? Like, what does that look like for you?
100%. I always say, like, not to be corny, but when I was growing up here, and I remember, like, my favorite thing about school was, like, back to school shopping and picking out my clothes, and I always had this big vision that, like, I was put on this planet to do something special.
Yeah.
And that's why we always want people to know it's more than selling T-shirts and hats for us. Like, I'm born and raised in Arizona. Like, that was so rare. I just turned 40. Like, we didn't have any sense of pride, like, here. There, especially no apparel, right? It was the 3 for $10 corny Walgreens shirts, and I'm like, we could do better than that. And just seeing your homies and friends or whatever, like, leave high school, graduate high school and leave Arizona for other opportunities, I'm like, where's our, like, sense of pride? So I always felt like I wanted to put on for the city where I'm from, and that's cool. Where, 12 years later, we still have the growing organization, and I'm just so proud of where we're at today. But like, yeah, I've always had that vision, and I believe 100% I can't even speak right now. Manifesting, because like you got the old school way, you got to work your ass off for things,
Yeah.
Like you got to treat people right, solve problems. Business is kind of all the same stuff, just different, scales of it.
So how did you come up with the name? How did you take me back to inception there?
Yeah, so I mean, there was probably like a couple years where I was trying to think of like a brand name, because that's so important to just really have the aha moment.
Yeah.
And I was living with my buddy Stefan, who my dad was our T-ball coach growing up. Never thought we'd been in business together. We were living together, working together. He knew I was trying to create a brand to represent Arizona, and like one day, no BS, he comes out brushing his teeth and he says State 48. And I was, no joke, I'm like, what's State 48? And he was like, Arizona's the 48th state. And it was like that. Probably 2011, 2012-ish time frame, and I was like, boom, it was like the aha moment. I was like, That is perfect, right? And then we're like, all right, we need a logo graphic designer. We brought on his younger brother, self-taught graphic designer, as our third partner, and not what I recommend, just like you'd probably relate to, but it's like, hey, let's all go in business, 3 equal ways, and not knowing what the hell we were doing. And probably the smartest thing we ever did was submit for our trademark. Collectively invested $1,500 to be the first company to ever trademark State 48 in Arizona. I take a lot of pride in that. Now there's, I think, 100+ organizations with State 48 branding included, and I just think it's dope that more people are growing up here and care about our beautiful state.
So why T-shirts? So it didn't, you wanted to represent Arizona, and you thought a good way to do it is T-shirts?
Well, I've always just loved kind of fashion and apparel. Like, again, back to school shopping was probably my favorite thing about school. I remember picking out my outfits, and Definitely not what I recommend for anyone starting a business to go create a retail or lifestyle brand, because it's freaking hard, especially as a niche brand like us. But like, I've always wanted to make an impact in Arizona, and I was kind of the engine to allow us to get there. And then fast forward to 5 years ago, we started State 48 Foundation to support local entrepreneurs and help them all, with our network, help them be successful and not make the same mistakes that we've made over the years.
So what is that foundation? It's to help other companies?
Yeah, well, small businesses, brand new, early kind of stage entrepreneurs, but State 48 Foundation was built 2020.
Bird?
That was a bird.
Wow.
Dang, dude. On the bottom?
Yeah, we'll have to check it out.
That thing was hard.
I don't think hopefully it didn't crack anything, bro.
That was a beast.
We might find a spot to land in a second. Check it out.
Okay. Sorry, keep going. So the State 48, so 5 years ago you created this. What need?
Yeah, I mean, it was really the desire to, again, do more than sell products, and how do we make an impact. And so many people hit you up as an entrepreneur, how do you do this, how do you do that? And I just felt there was a need. We started it right when the pandemic started, as a 501c3, like, how can we help other entrepreneurs be successful? It's true to how we started. So we started that, 5 years into it, we've given out $150,000 in grants to early stage entrepreneurs. We put on these great free events with other business owners and leaders and industry experts to just make it a cool spot, a safe space where people feel like welcomed and also heard, and like really tell the stories of other entrepreneurs and like give practical advice, but also reminding people that like entrepreneurship is perceived to be the sexy thing and you're going to go make billions of dollars. Like, you better work your ass off. You better surround yourself with the right people. If you're in it for the wrong reasons, like maybe this is a good, time to kind of get out, right? But that's where ultimately we can help create jobs and help people be more successful, is what I'm striving to do.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Do you want to go out here and land?
Yeah, just come out here. We're out of the wilderness, dude, so we'll just find a spot to land out here. Just maybe on the other side of these hills. Or
I'll keep talking. You take controls and do your thing.
All right. Controls.
That's one of the most fascinating things about me, or about you, that I have a question about, is like, I feel like I want to see the threshold, because I feel like any company like has done a collaboration with you for State 48, and so like, do you care if they're doing $100,000 in revenue, or do they have to be doing $1 million, or like, what does that process look like, and how have you been able to network with those people to grow your brand and awareness?
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up. That was probably what I'm most proud of, is just the relationships we have in the community. I think a lot of it's what we stand for over time, is like just good people that want to represent Arizona in a positive, fashionable way. We've worked with the Intels of the world. We've worked with the sports teams. This collaboration process really started by working with Bruce Arians, the former Cardinals head coach. And he was like that first person to really, invest in us and trust us. And
that's where the name came in so key. Like, they want to be a part of Arizona. It is Arizona, State 48.
Yeah,
right?
That was dope. I mean, he came here, when he came to Arizona as a Cardinals coach, like, he wanted to create that community. He wanted to create awareness for his nonprofit.
Yeah.
So the fact that he wanted to work with us was amazing. It became kind of a Cardinal t-shirt. It was a silhouette of BA with the headphones, and that kind of formalized like the structure of collaboration. So any organization, whether it's a nonprofit or big organization, it's a minimum order of 50 shirts. We'll create a custom design with you. We've done up to 20,000 shirts. We've done 50 shirts. I mean, it's set pricing based on how many you order, and we just really make it easy because we get a ton of value out of that, right?
Yeah.
If it's co-branded, like, we get to develop relationships with Phoenix Children's Hospital, Dignity Health, like so many incredible organizations, and that's like so freaking cool about what we've built.
So your design, dude, all your shirts are so sick. Like, who's running the design on that? Do you consider yourself like a designer? I know you said at the beginning you brought on, was it your buddy's brother?
Yep. Yeah.
Is he still with you? Have you changed? What does that look like?
Yeah, great question. So like,
you get the full effect, bro. We get to land wherever. This is what's so sick about helicopters.
I'm just gonna pull off.
You can stay locked in.
You have controls.
I have controls. He's just gonna check that out real quick. Yeah, so who's doing the design work now?
Yeah, so I mean, so Stefan and Nick were my original partners. We went 3 equal ways. I ended up buying Stefan out. Just didn't work out. We weren't no longer friends. Like, that was challenging. But Nick, who's our creative director, again, self-taught graphic designer, my partner now, he leads up the creative team. We have 3 designers total. and they're just pumping those things out. So we have
sick.
Right now 34 collaborations in the queue ready to be worked on. Again, whether it's big organizations, small profit or nonprofits, like small business, like you name it. Like it's been really cool.
Yeah. Dang. So like, do you feel like, I mean, there's only so many companies. How many companies are there in Arizona?
Yeah, great question.
I think about that. Like, there's 10,000 pest control companies alone. So at first I was like, man, are you going to run out of companies? But like, what does that look like?
Yeah, no, great question. So really next year, I mean, that is the tough part about a lifestyle brand that represents Arizona, right? There's only so many reasons why someone needs another Arizona shirt, right? So the B2B part is really key for us. We also offer screen printing and embroidery for other businesses. So we're that one-stop shop,
Cool.
or whether it's design
I didn't know
services,
that.
kind of like a mini agency in a sense, right? But where I see us really expanding and growing is just really kind of evolving the message, right? More built in Arizona, made for impact, and then really still going all in on staying true to us of like supporting your hometown, like that pride of wherever you're from, like supporting entrepreneurs, and that could be expanded across the world, right?
Yeah.
So like that's where we're really going to try to expand.
Wait, what part could be expanded across the world?
Just overall like messaging of like going all in on like the overall theme of like supporting your hometown, right? Everyone cares where they're from, supporting, really going all in on the entrepreneur journey. Like if it's a dope graphic tee that, kind of has a great message or that, like people, whether you're in New York or whatever, they'll purchase that. I would assume, right? We've all bought from other states.
Yeah.
So rather than it just always being, our big main logo that so many people want and so much about Arizona, it's just more telling the story of who we are, where we're from, and not get away from that is where I think we could really grow the retail side of it.
I think in business today, like there's no question about the power of collaborations with other companies, utilizing their customer base to help grow each other's, revenue for each other. What has been, like, I know that's one of the biggest questions that people ask me, like, how do you network with other individuals? And so what's your guys' process? Do you guys go target? I'd assume like a lot of people are contacting you now, but at the beginning, like how are you targeting a company and saying, hey, like, let us do this, like, we'll make it sick?
Yeah, no, appreciate that question. A lot of it was early on. A lot came in from our marketing efforts, from word of mouth, and that's such a powerful thing of like, if you treat people right and you really go above and beyond and you're like really stay true to who you are, it's contagious. People want to, be a part of the brand and the logo, and so it's a combination of like a lot of our efforts that get people talking about it and like reach out, but we're also have a kind of partnerships team now that actually goes after a lot of partnerships, and it's really as simple as like our brand message since day one's been clothing for all inspired by Arizona. That's not a PC thing to say. That's not anything different than like we just want to rep everyone, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if people have the means to want to do a collaboration with us or do screen printing with us, we want to work with them. It's pretty rare to ever say no to anyone that's willing to work with us, unless it's something that's confusing with like the State 48 brand. But I mean, we keep it pretty simple.
Yeah. So like if, let's say a pest control company wants to go collaborate with, I don't know, I was talking to my buddy who owns Reconnect, it's like a mind body ice bath type of place. Like if I didn't know and have that contact based off of your knowledge, like how would you go about trying to collaborate with that person?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's important to me is we never try to hard sell anyone, right? It's more educating of what we can value, we can add. What's been successful is like using these shirts as fundraisers. I mean, elementary schools are the number one industry we work with because people care where like they go to school and where their kids go to school, but like they don't have a creative team. They have a respectfully a crappy shirt that no one wants to wear, right? So like if we can,
it's the gilded, nasty, like 100% cotton.
I never understood even like giveaways. Things have continued to evolve and get better, but like when you see, grown men just jumping around for like, these giveaway tees, and I'm like with fries on it and stuff like, but it's gotten so much better, and it's like why invest in those big dollars into a crappy tee when you could actually get, invest into something that people want to wear. And word of mouth marketing is such a real thing. And that's a big part of how we've grown too, is just people like, you see someone at Home Depot and they're wearing a State 48 Target shirt, like, oh, that's dope. What's that? Or, and it's just like a small world.
That's so sick. Have you thought about going to other states and do like State 45, State 46?
Yeah,
like
that's a popular question. Like if I had the kind of the capital and the kind of expertise or someone to really lead up like that, like I really do feel like we have a unique business model where we can kind of franchise that, of like, again, having a retail brands are so tough. But I mean, if we do have a unique, business where we have the nonprofit arm, we have the B2B arm, it allows you to be more sustainable and not so reliable on discretionary income purchases, right?
What are the margins in what you're doing? Is it like service-based companies? If you're between 20 and 30%, you're doing a pretty good job.
Are you talking about on the bottom line?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hopeful to get to 10%. So I mean, it's great, margins overall, in the retail side of it. But you're still at the end of the day slanging $34 shirts, right? And so much of what we do is wholesale. So if you're talking an average of $16, $17, you just the volume just has to be there to make it all, to help you really continue to grow.
Dude, I want to do a Flying High with Cam collab with you.
I'm all in.
What's that process? Can we do that?
Yeah, it's as simple as we'll send over a creative brief and just some questions to fill out, and then our design team then works for you and say, here's some ideas. Love it, hate it, let's tweak it, we'll revise it. I think that's something we take a lot of pride in. I come from the hospitality background.
Yeah.
I spent 15 years in the hotel industry, started cleaning dishes to work my way to become a GM. I've always loved people, and it's I don't want our business and relationships ever be transactional. I think that's why so many people want to work with us. It's if it takes 6 revisions to get to a design you love, that's what it takes, right?
Yeah.
Let's go above and beyond for our people that support us.
Sick.
Yeah.
Well, we did our collab with Green Mango with you, 5 years ago?
Yeah,
I literally still have the t-shirt in my closet, which is saying a lot because I usually go through shirts. But it's I don't know, there's the sense of pride of State 48, and then there's the other sense of pride, my company name. We did a sick cactus, State 48, Green Mango, and I forget what the other box is. But it's just like you're saying, it hits all the boxes of Arizona, your company, and then you want to rep it, and it was on a quality shirt. You guys only print on certain shirts, you won't go.
Yeah, I mean we keep evolving, right? I mean, especially as the trends keep changing, but that cotton poly blend is always kind of our staple. But now with the heavies and the oversized, I mean you're trying to make sure you accommodate all the women's preferences and styles, which is very challenging. So we try to keep it. We've learned over the years of not try to spread yourself too thin and accommodate everyone's wishes, and just really stick true to your core competency and really what does well for you. And for us, that's t-shirts.
That's dope. What has been the hardest part about scaling State 48?
Yeah, I think it's I think it only gets harder. I think I've had my hardest days in the last year or so, just because mentally, I love what you were saying earlier, your mindset, the manifesting stuff, that is so important to really keep your mind right, because it gets so much harder by the day, and you're just am I really serving my purpose? You're asking yourself all these questions, it's when the tedious parts take you away from doing the things you love. And for me, it's being out in the community, networking. When I have to be behind my desk, that kind of gets a little depressing sometimes, right? Or being a business leader gets lonely, and it's the cash flow challenges and all these things that really take over. I would say that's been a huge challenge lately. Is just I've always been a very positive, optimistic dude, but it only gets more challenging. And it's you want, as life goes by, you're that's why I have so much respect for you and so much excitement for you that you've built what you needed to build and create freedom, right? We could be gone tomorrow, and it's I've always been a grinder, but I'm do I really want to continue to still work 7 days a week, right? But yeah, it's just evolving our B2B side of it too, because that allows us to be more sustainable and scalable. If we could just print most people's shirts in Arizona, we will crush it.
Yeah.
And we don't have to rely so heavy on the retail side, which is very stressful at times.
Are you guys in any? You guys are in stores, but do you have a State 48 retail?
We have 4.
We have 4.
We have,
where are they at?
Downtown Gilbert, behind Oregos.
That's right. Yeah.
That's our flagship store, 1,600 square feet. We have our OG store right by our headquarters in North Chandler, and then we have downtown Phoenix at the Churchill, and then our recent store is at North Terra, I-17 Happy Valley. So, I've always believed in the people side, the customer side. How do you provide great experiences? Well, you need doors to be able to, kind of show that. It can't just be on social, in my opinion. So, but at the end of the day, you got to give people a reason to want to get off their butt, come in your store, and want to buy another Arizona shirt. So that could be challenging.
What's been your biggest bottleneck at State 48, and how did you overcome it?
Great question. A lot of times I would say, if I'm reflecting on it, it's myself. It's also as much as the desire I wanted to create this nonprofit, that was like a like something I did not realize it would take so much time and money to get going. And I'm so glad we kind of got through those hard times. But I mean,
was someone guiding you on that?
I mean, we had great connections. We had an executive director come in with some experience, but again, it's like starting another business. You're learning as you go, and that's why I'm so passionate about helping others, you know, be successful. But I mean, we invested hundreds of thousands of dollars into our nonprofit, just like with the ultimate goal of making an impact, creating a legacy. We didn't have to do that. Our for-profit would have been a much better, you know, place. But I'm glad we kind of got through that. So it's really, that was probably a big piece the last couple of years, is really just kind of helping it become more sustainable, where it's not so reliant on the for-profit, because that definitely hurt the business. You know, it took, you know, so much of my time away from the for-profit business, and we have a great team now that really is helping it grow.
What does your team look like?
Yeah, so we have a team of 24, 3 on the nonprofit side. You know, a lot of that's retail, director of operations, creative team. But a lot of that is retail.
That's sick, man. We're like, sorry, I'm just like firing you questions because I'm so fascinated with the, like, we have an agency within our company, and so like I feel like to a certain degree, not to you, but like I have an idea of what it takes to run an agency, and it's stressful. It's stressful to try and get the designs right, to try and get the copy right, and then to be able to go out and, you know, source it. And then the fonts, the sizes, the colors, like all the things, right? How have you found your zone of, like, what is your zone of excellence, and how have you been able to take those hats off? Because at the beginning you had to probably wear 100 hats, and now maybe you only wear 5. But like, how have you been able to find your zone of excellence?
Yeah, I think that's it's bringing on the right people that allow you to focus on what you do well, right? And it's like, for me, it's the business development, the connection side. But I think what's been really cool is giving that freedom and that empowerment to the team to do their thing and let them shine. But yeah, it's retail again is just so. I think early on, like, we had a lot, you know, so much success early on because, you know, a good quality tee was kind of like foreign. And now it's like there's a million options out there. So it's like, how do you continue to evolve and stay true to who you are? Because you can get, you know, so wrapped up in like what's trending on social, what are these other brands doing? But like, what we continue to like really make sure the team knows is like, we are like, people support us for like what we stand for and who we are, and you got to continue to share that story.
Yeah. Do you feel like that's your zone of excellence, is like being able to tell the story?
Yeah, just being authentic, being organic, like really the customer service side, the intention of going above and beyond, that it really is more than selling t-shirts and hats. Like, I think that's what separates us, because there's a million brands that are much cooler and better than us, but that's not, we know who we are, right? And it's like, we just want to put on for our city and the people, and I think that customer service side, the experiences, like, you know, the Google reviews and the name mentions we have there's intention behind that, of really trying to, like, you know, the products are secondary. How do you really, you know, are listening to people, and like someone just, you know, told us that they had a death in the family. What are we doing to really go above and beyond to like send them flowers or something that like has nothing to do with like a transaction, right? And I think that's where, to answer your question, our zone of excellence is just the people side.
That's sick. What's been your funnest collaboration besides Green Mango, of course, man? Come on now.
That's what I always loved about you guys, is like, you guys brought swag to your company, right? And that's so important. I always give so much love to Bruce Arians because he gave us that chance. But I mean, we have a freaking.
You feel like that was like your thing?
And then that gave us credibility in the community. We became corporate partners with the Diamondbacks. Like, we were way over our heads there. Started working with all the sports teams.
You were really corporate partners with the Diamondbacks?
Yeah. I mean, we spent 6 figures, you know, early on, and I still don't know how the hell we did it, but I'm glad that we did it.
And what did that look like? Just like doing t-shirts through the Diamondbacks?
So we were licensed with Major League Baseball, so it allowed us to create actual co-branded designs with them. The Rallybacks would all wear our stuff. And
talk to people about, because we actually did do the Diamondbacks. In order to have MLB on your stuff, like, at the time it was like $50,000 or something. Like, it was crazy.
It actually, like, we didn't have to pay. I mean, we had to pay up front, and with our partnership with the Diamondbacks, it certainly helped. But I mean, we paid $1,000 up front, but then we had to pay 25% royalties on everything that we sold. So like, you know, people a lot of times think like working with the sports teams is like, you know, the sexy thing and the cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's dope. As
it gets your brand out there.
Yeah, but it's not the most profitable, right?
So like there's marketing and there's advertising, right? Would you consider like a sports team like more of like a marketing silo than an advertising, like direct call to action?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a combination of both, honestly. But I mean, to answer your question,
but ultimate credibility, dude. Like, come on.
Oh yeah. Well, and it's like, again, it's a small community. People are one call away from saying, "The State 48 is Mike. Are they good people?" Like, we take so much pride in that. Like, we would not have built what we've built if we were, you know, not just myself, but the humans that are on the team that all operate the same way, have the same values, right? But I mean, the fact that we just did a partnership with the Arizona Lottery and have a scratcher, like that's freaking incredible. We have a license plate.
Wait, hold on, what's that?
Yeah, right now you could have a chance to win $48,000. You go to your local Circle K. It's a State 48 lottery ticket. Like, you scratch it off.
Let's go buy a ticket, bro.
Stop by, just pull up in the Circle K.
Oh, and your license plate, dude.
Yeah.
How did you? I want to get one of those.
Oh my God.
I already got one, dude.
No,
you got to catch up.
Stop it. You did?
Yeah, I'm going to get a picture with them after, dude. Yeah.
No, dude, that was like...
Why don't you give me a license plate, Cam J?
Dude, because I didn't think it went with the rolls, to be honest. Just kidding.
Yeah, you talk about manifesting, like, that was a process.
Like, how do you do that?
Oh, man. Well, first you have to have a nonprofit, but again, we talk about relationships. Colin Maxey with the Diamondbacks really helped guide me. He's like, you need to hire a lobbyist, okay? You know, because I just said, hey, what's the process of getting a license plate? That's a big vision of, like, you know, we take a lot of pride in we want to be that brand of Arizona. Like, we need a license plate. So before I even knew, like, it had anything to do with the nonprofit, you had to have a nonprofit because all those dollars benefit our foundation.
Yeah.
We hired a lobbyist. The lobbyist helped us connect with
How do you find a lobbyist?
Connections, right? Like Amy Lynn at the Diamondbacks, we were core partners. She was like, you got to talk to Sean. Like, and then you start to trust the people that are in here.
Hold on. Well, right here. You want to slow down and show them this, Cam J?
Yeah, I got it.
You got controls. So right here, there's some ruins up against the mountain. They're pretty sick, dude. Like, no one knows that they're here. I'll show them to you really quickly.
Unreal.
Okay, so a lobbyist, like, you're just throwing things out there. It's so funny. Like,
so,
how do you get that?
So again, it's like the beauty of entrepreneurship. You figure shit out as you go. But we hired a lobbyist, which was $30,000. That's certainly not cheap, but it was worth every single penny. They connect you with everyone making decisions because you ultimately have to bring this to a bill to get approved, right?
Yeah.
And everyone in Arizona, I mean, there's 1 million license plates, and a lot of them voting on it, they just have license plate fatigue. But the coolest thing is, like, when getting all those meetings and letting people know, like, hey, would you support us in voting for our license plate? Because, like, they're like, dude, we love State 48. We love what you stand for. So reputation was everything. I think we had, like, the most yeses on a license plate bill than any bill.
That's so sick.
You know, that was 2 years ago. So, you know, now we're selling over 1,000 plates a month.
Look at these right here. You see them in there?
Inside there?
So those are little Indian ruins that they built where they used to live, bro.
Oh, wow.
Like, can you imagine hiking up here and then living in there?
Damn. That's insane.
No one,
we got it easy
no one
nowadays.
knows it's there, bro.
200.
Damn. How'd you find it? How'd you come across this?
I don't know, my dad.
Your dad,
Someone showed my dad.
found it.
You just end up a lot of
Like
times.
this little helipad right here, that'd be kind of sick.
Dude, I feel like that'd be scary to try to land on, no?
That's why we got Cam J, man.
That's right. My brother always jokes, and I know it's probably definitely not accurate, but flying for Delta, he's always, oh, these things fly themselves. I'm like, you sure about that?
The airlines.
The airlines probably
the
do.
airlines do. Okay, so you're selling 1,000 license plates a month, and on your Instagram you gave me the breakdown. It's like $47 for a license plate.
25.
25.
So 17 goes right to our foundation, and then the rest goes to ADOT. So nothing benefits our for-profit. It's just a cool, organic, But yeah, it's just we have a credit card with 1AZ Credit Union. Like, I mean, the things that, like, as you know, like, how my mind works, it's kind of a blessing and a curse. You're never satisfied. You're always go. What's the next thing? You have to be thinking that way, and it's like, I got to do a better job of reflecting and, like, man, the things that we've accomplished in 12 years, just starting with $1,500 and 3 dudes not knowing what the hell we were doing. Like, I'm really, really proud of that. But
$1,200?
$1,500 total.
Dang.
And we worked full-time jobs the first 3 years. Like, we didn't take a dollar. Like, we hustled. So, like, and that's the beauty of entrepreneurship. You hear this stuff all the time, and it's like, everyone probably hits you up, say, oh, it must be nice this. No, I earned, earned this, right? So all the hustle, I remember working at the hotel at 10, 11 hours, taking a shower, drinking a Red Bull, and then going to the office till 1 or 2 in the morning. But like what I realized is like, man, this is my calling. This is what jacks me up. Like the more you put into yourself and others, like it just continued to grow, and that's what we keep realizing now. But I'd say another big challenge now is just like unfortunately when you start to outgrow like your friends and early professionals that like are so pivotal to like growing your business, but like the tough part about the people side is like, all right, you need to level up to continue to grow, right? And that's always been really hard for me of having to separate with friends that have joined your organizations, and it's just like the savage part of business, which like kind of turns me off more and more every day.
What have been some of the things that encourage you to level up?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like one of the best things I ever did was invest into being a part of a Vistage group, was a CEO coaching group, right? And that, like, I always want to be around people that inspire me, that make me better, that I'm like, man, I want a helicopter now, right?
Yeah.
But like, but being around people that are going to hold you accountable and like inspire you to do better, and that really kind of helped me being in that group and hearing what it really takes to kind of grow your business and scale your business, and making those, if you don't make those tough decisions, like you're only going to hurt your business and yourself. So it's like, it just becomes easier and easier as long as you're honest about it. And I just big believer of like nothing should ever be a secret. Like if you have to move on from someone or have a hard conversation, like you owe that to that person. But it definitely doesn't make it any easier. Because you love on people, you trust people, they're loyal, but they just get to a certain point where like, can this person really take us to that next level, right?
Yeah. How long did it take you to start like making money at State 48?
I mean, still looking for like the ultimate security nest of like just more freedom, I guess. Not always the hustle of like because it's hard in our business. Like, I could forecast of what retail, like what these launches are going to do, but sometimes it's hit or miss. The B2B side, you always have to be looking for new partners and hustling, right? That's why we're really focused on like the screen print embroidery side. Is if we could print most people's shirts in Arizona, like that more than covers overhead and just like allows everything to kind of be icing on the cake. So I would say the last like couple of years, and it's certainly not where I want to be and where we need to be, just because like it's taken so much to really invest into the right team and infrastructure. And now what's cool is we can double, triple our business without investing into more people.
That's
and having more expenses tied to it.
That's dope, man. Well, I love your story, man. I appreciate you coming up. It's been cool to collab with you. You were working with mostly Dusty when we did it with Green Mango, and so when the opportunity came to have you up on the podcast, I was like, dude, I love what he's doing, and it makes like, I just feel like you've done a great job like hitting on all the buttons of Arizona companies, collaboration, creating this movement that people are proud of. And that's what's like special when you can figure that identity out with your company, like that's when you have success. And I feel like that's why you guys have blown up. Like literally, like any reputable company that I feel like is doing something special, I feel like you guys have already done a collab with, and I just think that's sick.
No, it means a lot, and we don't take those relationships lightly. And anyone that spends $1 with us, we're super grateful. And that is like, it's just again understanding your why and why are we doing what we're doing, because you can easily get caught up in like trying to be like someone else or other organizations, and it's just like, hey, stay true to who you are. Keep grinding and working your butt off, and you like to think it's typically going to work itself out, right?
Because like in the store, you guys are selling like, you guys aren't selling collabs of other companies. You're just selling like designs that you did with State 48. And
correct.
Cool like that.
We'll have some too, right? Like we have a shirt benefits for our Luis Gonzalez and his nonprofit Hometown Heroes, which supports first responders, right? So we have some shirts that do have a collaboration tied to it that can more reach the masses, but most of everything we sell is just kind of in line with a theme, or obviously next month's a big month for us of just celebrating America and all that, right? So different Hispanic heritage, we do well there of like kind of going in on themes and holidays and giving a reason for people to want to buy another like Arizona shirt. But yeah, no, it's awesome to be on here and super grateful for these type of experiences and opportunities just to connect more.
Yeah, what's been your guys' biggest or best like retarget tool? Is it email? Is it text? Is it like, what is it?
Yeah, I mean, email is still our #1 revenue driver. I think people forget about how important that is. But text, we've kind of like the light bulb went off recently. It's like we got to do a better job even just getting more people on the email and text list in an authentic, like organic way, not buy, but like that is our best revenue stream, and it's our highest conversion, and great open rates, right? So it's like we got to do a better job of like bringing people to those lists, the loyal supporters.
I feel like and you might be doing this or whatever, but it's like if you're Mr. State 48, I feel like if you had a weekly newsletter that was like highlighting the wins of Arizona or what's going on or things to do, and then at the bottom you have your shirt of the month or shirt of the week, like I feel like people would subscribe to that.
Dude,
and like you would be the guy for Arizona knowledge. You know what I mean?
No, I love that, because that's ultimately where we want to do better on the content side too, is like if we're State 48, if that original State 48, people need to look to us of like what's cool, what's dope stuff going on in Arizona, who's to work with, like, to your point, that's actually a great idea, and that's where.
Do you have a full-time copywriter?
No, we don't. We have someone who focuses, their full-time job is focusing on our email and meta.
Copy, but they're not like a professional?
No, I mean, I actually still, take a lot of pride in working on the copy just because I wanted to make sure it's that's that right message, right? It's in that right tone. I actually still do a lot of that. Collaboration, of course, but ChatGPT has definitely been a huge help of making sure as long as you train it right. Work smarter, not harder.
I have this crazy podcast that someone shared it. So I run this consulting group called the 1% Club. And basically, it's a way for me to scale my mentoring program to be able to share with people, the knowledge that I've obtained over the past 14 years. And what I love about it is not only do I get to share my knowledge, but I'm bringing together a network of people that are wanting to get better and level up. It's $2.99 a month, so it's like super cheap. But we share things with each other. And this guy shared this AI podcast. I'll text it to you when we land. It's just fascinating with how to prompt AI, ChatGPT, of how to like push out like whatever. And so you'll have to listen to it, man. You've probably done a lot of research on it, but I'll share it with you. I think you'll find it fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I forgetting the name of like the podcast, but it was actually with Bill Gates, and it was like kind of the future of AI, and it was really, really fascinating. Of like that actually could help humanity, right? Of like leveraging like this technology to actually use to our benefit to allow us to focus on things or free up more time for family or traveling or whatever if you really use it right. So I know there's obviously a lot of negativity to it of like, hey, is it taking people's jobs away? I totally understand that, but like the world's still always going to need the human interaction piece. You're always still going to need good people, and like it's not going to completely eliminate humans, right? So if you could use it to your advantage on the design side or the marketing side, or like do it. Like I think we take too much pride sometimes of like trying to figure it out all on our own.
I'm not like I'm into sports, but I'm not like super into sports. But I collect like New Era hats and stuff like that. But like I remember when your hat dropped, like like when you see an LA hat or like a New York hat, there's like a vibe to it, right? Oh yeah. Like a nostalgia, or, it's just been around. And I feel like, a lot of Arizona sports teams, like the Diamondbacks, they were kind of, they're newer compared to some of these other teams. But I remember when State 48 dropped, dude, I was like that. Like you legitimately created like a feeling behind that. That was like, it was like a pride where I'm like, dude, this is like that. It was filling that gap. Where like, dude, I can wear a State 48 hat, and in fact, you did. Like, I took a picture, and you guys like tagged me on Instagram, whatever. It was like when you guys finally did a New Era. Oh yeah, you guys had some snapbacks, And but I just remember that I'm like, dude, this brand is actually like so on point for what Arizona like needs and and represents. Dude,
and it's like I've always felt like the underdog, right? Like I'm not the smartest dude in the world, and like I always felt like that's kind of like how Arizona was always perceived too. Is like people talking shit about it, or it's like no one lives here, and it's like that unfair reputation of like we're so fair weather. It's like we're such a young state. So like for me, it was like that. I wanted that to come across. Like when you go on a trip, I'm rocking my D-backs hat. I'm rocking my State 48. Like I want it to be like this is where I'm from, and then it's at that cool talking point where you like acknowledge someone, you're like, dope. Like, you know, I just always wanted people that care as much about New York and Boston and all these other great states. Like, where's our love for AZ? And now it's only becoming stronger, and generations now growing up here, and that's all they know is like, we're just getting started.
That's sick,
That's
dude.
so cool.
I love it.